So today I'm here with my brother and my nephew, and my nephew is going to explain what is going on.
So I bought this 2017 WRX, and the engine seems to be seized, so we're going to find out what's going on.
Yeah, so we tried to crank the engine over, and it will not budge whatsoever. There is metal shavings inside the pan. The oil has already been drained. This car was at another shop, engine removed. So he purchased the car with no engine, and he was talking to the guy. He's like, "Yo, where's the original engine?" And he's like, "Oh, it's at this shop." So he called the shop, and he's like, "Yeah, the engine's still here." So now he has it. So now these two are going to take it apart. I'm going to supervise, and hopefully we're going to find out what's going on. Worst case scenario, hopefully the heads are good because he does have another short block that he is able to use. Right?
Yeah. And the FA20 motor that I have, the short block, is going to be healthy eventually.
Well, yeah, I had spun rod bearings, so went over to the machinist, and he's going through everything for us right now, and then we will order the parts, put it together ourselves. He's going to measure everything for us, and hopefully we'll have a good short block, and hopefully some good heads. So
Hopefully.
once we get them off, we'll make sure everything is good. We're going to check the cams to see if there's if the scoring's really, really bad. If it's not too bad, generally I run with it. And then, he should have a pretty decent motor. It'll run good.
Yeah, so keep in mind that this is a WRX motor, and the short block that we're going to use is from a FRS.
Yes.
So from what the research these gentlemen have been doing is that short block will work with these heads.
I don't know if anybody's done it, but from what I've read so far, usually it's the heads that are different from the WRX to the FRS. I couldn't be wrong. People can let me know in the comments. But we're going to try and learn that.
All right, cool, thanks. This is the update of the WRX engine. So they separated the block and number cylinder 1. You can see that bearing, the crankshaft. This is the bearing, and they actually fused together. So that's why the engine wouldn't turn over.
They did turn over.
After you remove that.
Go on. Let's talk about them. So it didn't turn over after.
Well, we can't hear you. You're too far away.
Okay, so when we got the bottom of the what the oil pan sits on, what is that piece called?
We call that the upper oil pan.
Okay, so the oil pan was removed, and then we took the heads off, and then after the heads were removed, it actually moved a little bit. So then me and my nephew, we started moving it back and forth, and we actually got it to rotate. But it was it was very, very stiff, so we didn't know which bearing was bad or what was actually going on. So we started taking off the rods, we took the caps off the rods, and it ended up being cylinder number 1. So as soon as I took that cap off, the bearing fell down into that case, and then the whole crankshaft was just spinning free.
All right. Yeah, look at the rest. They look good.
So everything looked good. All the bearings look good. All the journals look good. It's just that one journal on right there on the crankshaft. So I'm gonna take it to the machinist, and I already told him about it, and we're gonna kind of go through this one also, and we're gonna determine whether we want to send this crank out, because I think my nephew wants to build the FRS motor just to have a spare in case he decides to buy a car with a bad motor. I think he was trying to buy one, so we'll have 2 motors to build, but one is going to be like this is going to be a full long block. We might do a full long block in the other one because you said you have the heads.
Yes, but it has bent valves.
Has bad valves. There's some scoring on the camshafts for the other head, so my only concern about that, well, I mean, it should be fine because we actually ran on a different motor, right?
Yes.
Motor ran. So it was not too bad. It's very, very light. I have to take a look at it again, and then we can actually build a complete motor. So we have 2 complete motors. One will be from FRS. This will be WRX. We should be going back into my nephew's 17. It's kind of interesting. So it's 2 FA motors built. I've never touched an FA motor before. I've done all EJs. It's much easier. If anybody said it's not, I don't know why, because you actually take the rod caps off in the motor. You don't have to take the pistons out before you split the block. And once you take the rod caps off, you can split the block. The block, all the bolts are on one side instead of back and forth. And there's no little bolts. Like, in the EJ motors, there's one actually where the oil pan goes in the bottom. There's one like in the back where the flywheel goes at the bottom. And then I think there's another one.
Yeah.
In the front.
A bit longer, right? Is that one longer?
But this doesn't have all of those. So I like this motor better for building.
And which one is it?
Which
The connecting rod.
it'll be the one without this. You'll actually see that it's spun inside it, so it's that you can't use that rod. So we're gonna have to buy a couple of eBay rods. Chicken havers.
Let's get this one next.
I think it's Bart found it too. Did it work one to me? Yeah, it did. Yeah, so you can see that spun in there. So unfortunately, we can't use this rod, and kind of sucks.
Yeah. Not cheap from the dealership.
No, expensive. But you can get them online. You can get them on eBay. Or we can probably pick up another motor. If it's the same rod between the WRX and the FRS, or the BRZ, whatever you want to call it, then we'll just find another motor that we have to build and just pull the rods out of there.
Yeah.
Because I got a ton of EJ rods, which is crazy. All for $257. Shit. I don't know. This one I don't have them yet, but they'll probably mount up. So I think this winter we'll have about 4 motors or 5 motors built, ready to go for cars, or maybe sell them. I'm not sure.
That'd be good.
We got one EJ, which is at the machinist right now. We're going to build that one, and we're going to build these 2 FA motors. And then I have another 2 at the house. At my uncle's house, so it should be interesting. And that is the full build of this thing.
That would be cool. That thing will get it done.
Well, that's going to be running first. This runs and drives right now. I just have to finish, I got to get some of these parts. We got to do a wet sand on it, and then I got to do some underneath. It's handbrake cables. I got the handbrake cables. Much of things I got powder coated I want to swap out. So I'm going to do the top of it, and then most likely I'll drop the rear subframe, send things out for powder coating, get them back up. I got to do the differential seal. I got the seal for that. And then maybe I'll drop the front subframe on this in the summertime. I can do it quick and then clean everything else up. And then the car will be in pretty tip-top shape. It's a good 5-footer right now. And you see it going down the road, and it actually looks really nice. But once I have everything done, I think it should look decent. I've chipped things up over time, man, but it should be a pretty cool car.
Very cool. Thank you. Today we are working on a 2017 Subaru WRX. My nephew purchased this one. You can see damage. Unfortunately, he had it at his house, and the neighbors were cutting the tree, and it ended up damaging the car. So they will be fixing that eventually. But we have the motor here, which was a seized bearing. So the motor wouldn't spin freely. My brother and him, they took apart the engine and found one of the bearings pretty much welded together, which wasn't allowing the motor to spin freely. And then once they removed that bearing, the engine spun freely. So today's goal is to drop the engine in. How cold is it, would you say, today?
So in Celsius, we are probably like -1 or -2.
Okay.
With the wind chill, I don't know, but if you show them outside what it looks like.
Yes, I'm getting to that. So today's plan is we're going to be putting this engine in this car with this much room, with this weather outside, and there's a cherry picker that's right there. So we will be opening this garage door and trying to put this engine in before the weather outside gets too much.
Well, we still have tons of snow on the ground, so we still got to put exhaust manifold on with the turbo, and then I'm going to put the clutch on, and we'll hook it up to the cherry picker. Well, I'm going to take it off first, so it'll be hooked up to the cherry picker, and then we're going to attempt to drop it in as quickly as possible.
So please explain what you guys ended up doing to this engine.
So ended up having a spun rod bearing, and the two bearings flipped onto each other, and it seized the crank. So when my nephew bought this car, he bought it without a motor. He found out where the motor was taken out at, and they said, hey, come pick it up, because it's just sitting here. So he ended up getting the engine. I tore it down. We found out why it was seized. The crank was pretty much done, and we would have to like grind it down too much. So we had another crank, which was already done for us. We had it polished. And I took it to the machine shop. He washed the block. We cleaned the heads. We did everything. He measured everything up for us. We put new bearings. We had a polished crank. We put we kept the rods and pistons. We had to get one rod, which is brand new, and we kept the pistons. We just changed the rings. Had the rings gapped. My machinist, he did it for us. I can do it, but he has all the right tools and he does it quick. And we ended up assembling here in my garage, and this is where we are now. It's fully assembled. It was fully cleaned, fully assembled, and yeah, it just got to go in the car. So the car arrived today, and it wasn't snowing this morning, so I was like, okay, this is an ideal time to bring it. And we were thinking, yeah, let's just try and get it in as quickly as possible. So that, which is our exhaust manifold with the turbo, is going to go on this right now. We're going to try and button a couple things up, and then I'm going to take it off here, put the clutch on, and toss it in the car.
Yeah, so this is the goal. So, yeah, wish us luck.
I don't like sweating.
So here's my nephew. He's here helping us out. We are buttoning things up. We got the spark plugs in, bunch of hoses, wires connected. We're all doing this before we put the engine in. It's dark outside, but we still plan on putting this engine in today. No?
I don't know.
Even through the snow, eh?
We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And
We're gonna have it off the stand on the tire, and we're gonna put the clutch on because we still gotta put the clutch, right?
yeah. All right, so we're gonna continue it, and we're gonna see where we end up. All right, so we got the engine on the cherry picker. Garage door is open, and it is snowing. We're gonna get the clutch on, flywheel, and then hopefully we're gonna get this engine inside this WRX. All right, here we go. Engine's going in. So what we're doing right now is we're gonna prime the engine. I know there is no radiator, but we want to hear the engine run. But right now we're gonna prime it. So go ahead.
So what I'm doing right now is I have this oil line loose. I want to see some oil come out from there. That way I know that the oil pump is working and it's pushing all through. So Omar, go ahead and see if she turns over. You know what that means? Battery is weak. I'm gonna put a jump pack on it right now.
Did you not charge the battery like I said to?
I was supposed to and I forgot. I was gonna do it today.
Okay.
Omar was eager to get things done, so I came over. And I remember him saying it was 12 volts, so I was hoping that it would be good. She's showing 12.7. Okay, Omar, so let's see.
Ready?
Yep. Nothing?
Anything happen?
No, you didn't hear it, did you?
Again?
Yeah, try it again.
You putting the clutch in?
Oh, yeah, dude, I forgot.
Okay, make sure it's not in gear in case it jumps forward and pushes me through the...
Yeah, I forgot.
You keep your foot on the brake too.
Yeah. Nope.
You got the signal wire
Well,
plugged
that
in?
was one of the ones I was looking for. So let me check and see. She's
I was
on.
driving for a second. I forgot the manual.
No, stay in there.
Yeah.
What's it doing? I can hear it.
I was just beeping. The sun's always open.
Oh,
Okay, here. You take this. I'm gonna try and see. We got enough juice.
Alright, yeah, I can see moved.
Hmm?
And I see moved it.
Yeah, push clutch in. I can hear compression, which is good. Go ahead, do it again. Okay, go ahead, do it again. Go ahead,
All
do
right,
it
now
again.
give the starter a second to cool down. So we don't overheat that starter. We're going to let it cool down. And the reason why it wasn't starting, operator error.
Yes. Definitely operator.
But yeah, but the battery was
The battery was weak for sure.
yeah.
So it could have been the battery too. But I remember with Gus's car, it took a little while for all that oil to flow through everything.
Yes.
And it's turning over slowly, so we'll see. Maybe I shouldn't have put the belt on.
No, you're okay. It's not that much of a load. As long as the AC's not on.
It's being warm. I mean, she's a little warm, not hot though.
No, just, you know what? You're going to keep cranking like that. It's better let it cool down a little bit. And then,
I mean, it should technically only be a few more cranks.
all right.
I mean, I
We're
don't know.
good. We're good. We can go again.
Go ahead, Omar. Give her. I can smell fuel. What do you think? You think I gotta pop this off? It should leak, right? It's not tight.
Yep, we're good.
We're good. You see that, beeps?
Yeah.
Okay, let me tighten that down.
So you can see oil did start coming out of that.
I know it takes a little bit of time for it to come through. Yeah, so we got oil from over here, Omar, you can see.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so now we know oil is flowing through the engine. We're gonna hook up the fuel pump, fuse, and we're gonna crank her up.
me to do it?
Yeah, I'm not experienced enough for this.
You're just starting the car.
I'm just watching. I'm observing.
All right. It's just gonna be a quick start. We're not gonna.
Yeah, as there is no rad hooked up, so no coolant flowing through, we don't want to overheat the engine.
Okay, ready? Because the fuel.
Yeah, it's pulling the fuel. Yeah.
You guys ready?
Oh yeah. Crap. Omar, what do you think? What's your thoughts?
I think it sounded good.
It did.
It sounded really good.
You're right. It did sound
You
good.
built an engine.
It actually sounded really, really good. We won't really know until we do the break-in,
Yes.
but I mean, it didn't make any noises. I think we're good.
I built my first engine, guys.
Yes,
There you go.
did. Congratulations. So now you have seen how the system works. Not to say that we have the best system. Some of our stuff is a little jank on how we do it, but you know what? If it gets done, it's great. I'm actually feeling very happy right now. I heard this thing run. It sounded beautiful.
All
That
right.
relief
That's
is
good.
amazing. My chest is not, it's not heavy anymore.
First startup sounded good. Okay, so Reedman, remove the dipstick. Let's check that oil. See what it looks like. See how low it is.
We're gonna add some zinc to this, so help to seat the rings.
Oh.
Just bring it on the blade there. Yeah, you're gonna have to add some oil.
Yeah, we'll add some oil because I went through the whole engine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It showed halfway when they first sold it, but yeah, now let's.
It was in between the two dots.
Okay.
Get this filter.
All right. Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, let's add some more oil, and then we'll double check.
we're gonna add the zinc to it right now.
Okay.
Help seat the
Just on bottom. Empty.
the rings, and then what we're gonna do is we're going to we're just using this for braking. We're gonna just run it, and we're gonna do whatever we did for the STI break-ins. I'm gonna find out if it's the same thing. Just idle it at 3,000 between whatever 2,500 to 3,500 for 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Okay.
And then
I'd have to look up the instructions.
if you want to look it up, that would be better.
Okay.
We want to shape this friends.
I already shook it enough.
Well, okay.
Let's just hold this in.
So another day of snow, and we're here with the WRX. Radiator's in. Intercooler is somewhat in. Just these need to get clamped down, and the intercooler needs to get pushed in properly.
Put the bracket on this side, and then everything is done.
The only thing that's not on is the exhaust. So
O2 sensors are in.
O2 sensors are in. From the converter onwards, there is no exhaust, so it's going to be a little bit louder. We found out that this car does have a Cobb tune on it, which he's going to get the Cobb access port, and he's going to put it back to factory. So this way, this WRX will be back to factory. So we're good to go.
All right, here we go.
Battery's no good.
Throw the booster on.
We need a new battery.
I had it on charge.
Maybe it's not holding.
Here. Throw the booster on. Hold on a minute. Here, hook it. Oh, I didn't press clutch.
I was going to ask you, did you put the clutch in? No, he didn't put the clutch in. That's it. It's running smooth. Let's go see if there's any check engine lights. No check engine light, so we're good. Needs gas. But it's running good. Here it is, running. Exhaust is hooked up. We're gonna go for a little test drive. We'll see how it goes. Engine sounds healthy. So we're gonna do a break-in. I told him don't go over 4,000 RPM. We're gonna go between 500 to 1,000 kilometers, and then we're gonna do an oil change, and then we'll let him push it. What we have to get the Cobb access port so we can unmarry the Cobb. That way we can bring it back to stock. He does have the stock exhaust. We'll put that on so it's quieter. Yeah.
It's got the stock mufflers.
Yeah.
So we'll put the stock mufflers back on so the car will be
Yeah.
quiet. And then
So-
he's got all of that stuff.
So the car will be back to stock. He does have a set of wheels with no tires, with the factory wheels, but eventually he will get some tires for that. And all the damage, unfortunately, the damage was due to his neighbor doing some yard work with a tree. And you can see, sorry, it is dark, but you can see there's little scuffs all around. So that's going to get sent to the body shop, and we're going to see how much it's going to get cost to fix. But the people that did the damage, they said they're going to be paying for it, so he won't be out of pocket. Okay, so we're gonna go for road test and see how it goes. All right, so we're driving the car. Brakes are rusty. You can hear them scraping. So taking it easy. Car is plated, insured, so we're good. Would like to go to a parking lot, you know, let it rip, but we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, because we haven't removed the Cobb tune yet.
Yeah.
And we got to break in the engine. How many kilometers do you think we should put on it before we let it loose?
So I was saying earlier, put 1,000 kilometers, don't go over 4,000 RPM. Keep the boost low, so that way everything can seat properly. And then we're gonna do that oil change. And then we'll, hopefully you get that Cobb access port, and we'll unmarry it. And then we can push it a little bit harder and see how it moves.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah. We went for a bit of a drive, a very short drive. Kept it under 4,000 RPM. I didn't push it, and this is it. It's still running very smooth. It's still burning off oil. You can smell the oil in the coolant. A little bit of spilt here, but it's good. I'm happy. You guys happy?
Very happy.
All right, good. So Omar's gonna take it home, and then he's gonna go get a quote, an estimate for that damage, and then we'll go from there.